To begin the process of building your eCourse, you're going to want to go to the waco.schoolobjects website for eduphoria and access the workshop application. Once inside workshop, you'll need to make sure you have access to the Manage tab. If you do not have access to the Manage tab, you'll contact Adam Benton and he will access that right and role and privilege so you can go through this process of managing and creating your eCourse. Once inside the Manage tab, you're going to go to Course Management, click on the eCourses option, and then in the bottom left of the screen, you're going to click Add New eCourse. If this is a brand new eCourse or the first one you've created, you'll be creating a new empty eCourse. As you begin creating additional eCourses in the future, if you have a format that you like and you want to follow, you can copy an existing course. But for this example, we're going to do a new empty eCourse. Click Next in the bottom right of the screen. You'll put your title, and a description. Now you must have a description for the course to be approved by the Office of Professional Development. Click Next in the bottom right of the screen. And now you're ready to begin editing the eCourse. You click Begin Editing the eCourse. And what you're going to be brought to is the management screen. Now the management screen is where you're going to control all of your basic setup features. So the first thing you'll want to do, you'll see in the overview, you have a link that you can use later to directly provide access to this eCourse for participants. You can send them the link for them to register. We'll go quickly across the top on the menu bar. You see you have your save. Your big red X, of course, is your delete. Once you delete an eCourse or anything really in eduphoria with the big red X, you cannot get it back. So if you're deleting, make sure you want it to go away, otherwise you won't be able to get it back. This next one is your course status. Right now, the default is set to draft, meaning you can edit and build this course as an instructor, author, or manager, but currently no one could register for it. Once you have a completed course, you would change this to an active status. Once an eCourse is run its useful life or the content is no longer relevant, you can archive an eCourse. Archiving prevents others from registering, but it also saves all of the information in their portfolio. If you delete a eCourse at any time, anyone who has completed that eCourse, the credits will actually leave their portfolio. So again, we don't want to delete eCourses when they're done. We want to make sure we put them into archive. The next option is your print. Here's where you can go through and print your course details page, which basically provides a report of the basic information of the eCourse. So the credit types, instructor, survey information. You also have the certificate that can be printed for those that complete the eCourse. Individuals can also go in and print their own certificate, which is how we typically recommend that take place. But you can also print a course credit list, which would show you all participants that have actively enrolled, but also have actively received credit for completing all requirements. So at any time you can go through and print that list. The next option is the email class. So this would bring up the email option to email all signed up participants or attendees. You can see here in the Manage window, we have our Overview tab. The next one is the Setup tab. In the Setup tab, you're going to want to go in and build these components. Your title and description, you can edit from that initial screen if needed at any time. If there are any prerequisites to their course or requirements that they must go through prior to taking the course, you can add those here. You must select a content author, but you can also select an instructor. So if someone is instructing the course and they're going to receive instructor credit, if it's a live or actively ongoing participating course, that instructor can then also receive credit as an instructor. So you can select the instructor here from the list. If you do not see your name or the name of the instructor that you want to be added, please again contact Adam Benton and he can add them to the instructor list. The content author is very important. You must set up a content author for this course if you're going to be able to generate the curriculum and content. Without setting up an author, you won't be able to go in and actually build the course itself. So again, if you're not on this list, if you contact Adam Benton, he can get that set up. You can also add a course manager if you want to provide someone else with the ability to go in and view attendance add attendees, or view survey information, etc. So if you want to add additional course managers, when you set up the course yourself, you are set up as the course manager, but again, you can add additionals to the course. The course survey is set as the default, so you want to leave that on. Basically, once participants complete the course, they'll be asked to complete the survey, which will then go in and grant them credit once they've submitted that survey. It will help us gain information not only on the instructor, but the course itself for effectiveness and use. Course dimensions. The course ties specifically to dimensions from T-tests for your teachers or T-PES for your administrators. You'll want to go through and select those standards to make sure that that alignment takes place. What this will do is help build that resume for your teachers or your administrators within their summative conference screen, because it ties everything based on dimension. So you'll again want to go through and, based on the content of the training, select those dimensions that apply to this specific course. Next up is your course credits and categories. On the course credit screen, you can see here the main credits built for the district. This will, of course, count as CPE credit, your continuing professional education hours, for your SBEC portfolio. This credit type will be for all courses, and it will be equivalent to the amount of time required for a participant to work through the content and also to work through any additional reading materials or activities that are required for completion of the eCourse. So you'll want to make that time allotment here. If it also meets other district requirements, if it's on instructional technology, perhaps like in this case with the eCourse component, you can add that there. This will all go through for approval, so if there's any adjustments needed, those will be made. You see here you have options for course retake. If you have the assessment components of the course and attendees do fail that, they can be allowed to retake the course. So you can select that option if you choose. Staff credit is going to be assigned based on your option. You can either do instructor does pass-fail, you can review and then assign credit, or you can have the system automatically grant credit, which typically is the easiest based on the assessment. If they go through, complete the final assessment at the passing percentage that you've set here, then they would receive credit automatically. It would send them the survey that they would complete, and then it would show up in their portfolio. So that's really the simplest way to go about the scoring. But if you do want to go through and individually review your participants as the instructor, you can do that as well. Course categories help them to find the eCourse itself when going through the menu. Because it is set up under an eCourse, it will already be in an eCourse menu, which makes it very easy to find already. Again, you also have on the overview that direct link. So as far as the course categories, you do not have to select anything if nothing meets the criteria. But if there is something that matches, you can select those here. Course stipends won't be relevant to the eCourse process, so you won't have to worry about this tab here. The attendees tab is just like your regular courses. If you want to go through and actually enroll your participants, you can click the enroll option and type in their email, search, find those participants, and register them. Of course, we want to guide more of our educators and participants to register themselves, but again, if you need to go through and register them as the instructor, you can do that, or as the course manager, you can do that as well. You also have the option for unenrolling. If you right click, you can unenroll. You can also grant credit from this screen, etc. So at any time as the instructor, you have that ability. You also have the ability to go through and sort your enrollment by name or enrollment date. And you have the ability to go in and disable messaging. Every time you enroll somebody, they receive an enrollment email, or you have those messages sending to the class. If you want to disable those while enrolling a large group, you can, and that's just the option here. Again, the survey, you can see the basic information. If you want to see the actual hard copy of what the full survey looks like, if you hit print survey, it'll show you the full sample. So you can see here it has a matrix question as well as your short answer, fill in the blank. And again, this information will tie directly back to the instructor for the course for their own personal feedback and evaluation of the eCourse as well. Notes and attachments, as the instructor, you can add these for your class. This allows students to go in and see any additional notes that they may need in completion of the e-course, or if you have additional files, if you have a syllabi for the entire course, or you have some step sheets or guides, you can add those here. When you type a note, if you want it to be visible to the class, you select the Make Notes Visible option in the bottom right. Now the class will be able to view those when they've registered for the class. And then for the file attachments, if you select the paperclip icon, choose the file and go through and select whatever type of file you wish. That could be a graphic, it could be a PDF, Word document, etc. And if you want to enter a description, but then attach file, and you'll see that that will start to build the list. Again, it's a great way to house all of the information into this e-course so they don't have to exit the course or go to any other location to find the information they need while completing the class. E-courses also provide you the option of having a discussion board active during the course. If you want to utilize the discussion board, it's great because all participants can provide feedback inside of this platform. They can respond to one another's threads, they can respond to a teacher thread, and it's a really simple way to kind of go through and build collaboration into the course itself. To post a thread, all you do is click New Thread, Title, add your comment, click Save, and you've now added a post. For participants to respond, they simply click on the post and they can reply, or they can email directly to the author. So it's great if participants have questions in regards to the course, they can actually click on and email directly, or they can post their own questions here as well to be answered by other participants. You can also go through and arrange your thread so you can view the oldest and newest. And you also have an option to get an email added as the instructor. You can be emailed each time a new thread is posted, and that way you can make sure to go in and respond and collaborate with your participants. So that's the basics of the manage screen. You've now set up your e-course, you're in draft mode, and you're ready to begin authoring your e-course.